everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video is going to be a new declutter. I am going to be decluttering a bunch of my single eye products, pigments, glitters, liquid products, super shock shadows, and all of that. I did a poll recently on my community tab because I just have a few declutters left to go in my collection, and I wanted to know what you guys really wanted to see, and this category won out by, I think it was over 70%, so that told me that you really wanted to see this declutter. I will link my playlist in the description box. I have gone through the majority of my categories at this point. I've been doing a declutter every single week. We just have a few left to go and then we will be done with the declutter. But I'm looking forward to working on this because for whatever reason, when I have done my declutter series in the past, I tend to kind of skip over this category, and I don't know why, but because I do that, it tends to get a little bit bigger than I especially need it to be, because this is not what I normally reach into. I don't go into glitters and pigments on the regular. I typically am going into my eyeshadow palettes, so this has just gotten too big for me. I don't need this many products, so I'm really looking forward to decluttering these today. So this is my collection, and let's just go ahead and jump right in. I'm like, where do I even start? Okay. So I see these pigments off the bat. So these are from Colourpop, and don't mind my nails, okay? No comments about nails going forward. There's just none. I did them myself the other day, and there's that. Okay, so these are the pigments from Colourpop in collaboration with Kathleen Lights. I purchased 3 of them. So I know this one is the Ram, then we have the Archer, and then the Scales. I like these. I thought that they were easier to work with than I thought maybe they were going to be. I don't own a ton of pigments. I don't use them super often, but I actually felt like these were easy to use. And the reason why I especially love the Ram, I bought this one because it was my sign. This is for the Aries, because these have like the Zodiac theme with them too. I don't have a shadow like this in my collection, and I think that's what makes me really like this one especially. But even like this lighter pink one, it has almost like some blue flecks to it. It's just cool. That's kind of what I want to look for in either like single shadows or pigments like this, something that's a little bit different to my collection. So I'm actually going to go ahead and keep all 3 of these. I like them, even though I don't reach for them super often. You're going to hear that about this collection just in general, but I'm not like getting rid of absolutely everything, okay? All right, let me see. So I know I have some glitters here from Mac. So Mac sent these over to me. I think these are the 3 that I have left because they did send me a few. I didn't keep all of them that came in the PR package, and then I actually think I decluttered maybe like 1 or 2 that I had kept around, and now I have these 3. These are the Dazzleshadow liquid glitters. I don't mind them, but they definitely weren't my absolute favorite glitter. I have glitters in this pile that I'm going to be keeping more of. I definitely got a lot of fallout, especially with these 2 on the end here. They just seem to have a little bit almost like of a thicker, like chunkier glitter to them. The pink one I thought was a lot smoother on my eyelids. Looking at this collection and just knowing that I want to do a pretty good declutter on this, I am going to put all 3 of those in my pass pile. Purchased these around the same time. From Marc Jacobs, we have the Sequins Glam Glitter Shadow. I bought the shade Copperazi. And then from Hourglass, this is one of their Scatter Light Glitter Shadows in Reflect. I'll say out of these 2, the Marc Jacobs is the one that I actually prefer. It just looks more unique than a kind of regular eyeshadow, whereas the Hourglass, to me, I feel like I have shadows like that in my collection, so that's why I like the Marc Jacobs more. But again, these were both pretty pricey. I did purchase them both myself, I believe, in sales. Swatch the Marc Jacobs is on top, and then the Hourglass, I don't know, can you see, like, oh yeah, I swatched with my knuckles because these are still my real nails. People like think I'm lying when I say that these are my real nails. These, you should be able to tell. These are my real nails. So I swatch with my knuckles. But you can see like the Copperazi is just, I don't know, to me it's just a little bit cooler. So I was thinking about the Hourglass, like if I should keep it around, but I'm going to. I just want to. I'm not ready to get rid of it yet. So even though I prefer the Marc Jacobs over the Hourglass, and I would recommend it over the Hourglass. I still have a fondness for it, so I am going to keep both of these expensive products. I see these two from Wander Beauty. So these are the Exquisite Eye Liquid Shadow. I have these two shades that were sent to me. I have reviewed these, I believe it was in a Makeup Monthly a few months ago, and you know, I said that they were fine. Like, I think that they're pretty good, but as someone who again just doesn't reach for these types of products a ton, I don't go into them very often, and I'm going to put both of those in my declutter pile. Similar to those, these are from Wet n Wild. These are the Mega Last Liquid Catsuit. So there are some matte and shimmer ones. These are the matte ones that I have, and I did get these sent over to me from Wet n Wild, so that's why I have so many. And again, they were nice products. I used them in a video, and I had a pretty easy time working with them. The concept is you can put like the matte side into the crease and blend them out like you would like a regular shadow, and then come in with the shimmer or the glitter. But again, I just don't reach for these products. I honestly, I feel like after I got these, I used them in a video. I used them a couple more times so I could give my review on them, but I just don't reach into products like this very often. I mean, I'm going to be like a broken record in this video, so I do apologize, but I am going to put these in my declutter pile. And then I also have these two more shimmery shades also from that same Wet n Wild line. And I thought about these a little bit more because I do keep like the liquid glitters and such. Like, I wear them more than I would the mattes, but I know that I have some in here that I'm going to be keeping regardless, so I'm also going to declutter these. Others that I'm definitely a fan of are these from Stila. I know a lot of people really enjoy these. These are kind of like the hero product, I think, from Stila Cosmetics. So these are the Magnificent Metal Glitter and Glow Liquid Shadows. So I have these four here, and then I did swatch them just to like try to keep things, you know, somewhat interesting in this video. We have Bronzed Belle, Smoldering Satin, Kitten Karma, which is one of like their most known, and then Beauty Junkie. So Smoldering Satin, it was actually kind of hard for me to get a swatch. This one, it's been a favorite of mine for a while, and I have used a lot of it, and it was really hard to even get a swatch out. So this one is about gone. So this one I am going to go ahead and declutter that one. Bronzed Belle I felt like was still doing really well, and so was Kitten Karma. So I'm going to keep these two, definitely shades that I wear a lot. Now I thought about Beauty Junkie because with this pink shade, like it's really, really pretty. It really is, but I don't see myself going for this one as often. So even though I really do like this formula, I think it stays well, I think it's easy to work with, I think that I really just need to keep these two considering how often I go into products like this. So I'm going to keep these two, and then I'm also going to declutter Beauty Junkie. These are from Ofra. These are their Bossy Eye Liquid Shadows. I reviewed these not in my most recent Makeup Monthly because that went up yesterday, but it was last month's Makeup Monthly. So again, just these liquid shadows, and I said that I did like them a lot. I put them in my fine category because it's hard for me to put products like this in my favorites because I just don't reach for them as often, but they are really nice if you do like products like this. I think that these are easy to work with. You definitely get a lot of product onto the wand, and they're easy to work with. They don't like crease up in the lid, which I think is great, and I think that they're really pretty. The shades I have are Penthouse and then Rose. These are a bit newer to me also, so I'm going to keep these from Ofra. And another one from Wet n Wild that I had missed. This is a metallic liquid shadow, but again, I'm gonna put this one in my declutter pile. This one here from Flower Beauty. So this is the Warrior Glitter Shadow, and this is in Blade. I purchased this because I remember a lot of people saying like just how gorgeous this was, and I think people were saying that this was supposed to be a dupe for the Stila, so I purchased it, and I do think that it's really nice. I'm gonna swatch it because I haven't worn it in like forever. My poor hand is like full of glitter. So that is the swatch. You know, honestly, it doesn't, I don't know, I don't feel like I've used it a ton, but it almost feels like it's kind of to the end there, which is a little bit odd, but maybe it kind of dried out a little bit too since I've had it for a longer period of time. It does look pretty. Have you guys tried these ones from Flower Beauty? I feel like I don't hear much about Flower Beauty like in general anymore, but especially based on that swatch, I think that I can go ahead and put this one in my declutter pile. Right, next up I have these eye bases from Sigma Beauty. So these are the eyeshadow base primers. So I have two different shades that Sigma sent over. I really do like these. You can use them as either a primer or you can just use them all over. A lot of times in the warmer weather, if I just want something really quick and easy, I'll just put one of these shades all over my lids and call it a day. And I think that these are really nice. So I'm going to keep these from Sigma. All right, I have some here from Pixi Beauty. These are the 4 different fairy lights that I have. So we have Bare Brilliance, Rose Gold, Sunray, and Passion Light. All right, I think I'm gonna swatch all 4 and see which ones I wanna keep. So here are the 4. So Sunray, this is a shade that I don't wear very often. So I know that I can declutter that one. I really do like these Pixi glitters. I think that they are very nice. I think that they're pretty comparable to the Stila, a little bit more affordable. You know what? Since I do like these, I think I'm going to keep the other 3. I was maybe hoping to declutter 2, but I like the ones from Pixi. I like these shades. That rose gold one is really pretty, but that's really cool too. So I'm going to keep 3, declutter 1. Right, so I obviously have a lot of glitters from Urban Decay. I am on their PR list, so I think I've gotten all of these sent to me. But I don't feel like I need to keep all of these. They're more glitter liners, so you have like the really fine brush on these. And I mean, you can use them as liner, you can use them all over. It just takes a little bit more time than kind of like the doe foot like the other ones have. But while I do really like these, I don't feel like I need to keep this many shades. So looking at them, I think I'm going to keep these 4, which I still think is a lot, but I'm gonna cut it in half. So I have like quite a few silvers, so I decided to keep this silver, which is in Glam Rock. I do like the light pink. That's the one that I wear the most when I reach for it. That's in Grind. This one is cool here, like it's just a little bit different. That one is in Distortion, and then also keeping Catcall, which is a little bit more of the pink. So those are the 4 that I'm gonna keep from Urban Decay. But like this blue and the purple on the end, I don't really reach for those very often. So we have Punk Rock, and then also Spandex is the blue. And then Midnight Cowboy, this is the one that I've had the longest, so I feel like I can get rid of that one. And then AC/DC, again, is more of a silver, and I kept that other one. So these are the 4 that I'm going to declutter. Moving on to my Colourpop collection. So these 2 are actually the Jelly Much shadows. So they have more of like that jelly consistency. So I have 2 that were sent over from Colourpop. I do get some of their collections, which is why I have, you know, more products here. But I have Buttercup and then also a Bouquet. Bouquet is a little bit more on the mauve side. So these ones came out in the Butterfly collection with the Flutterby palette. I think I'm actually going to keep Bouquet. Is that how I pronounce it? Yeah, Bouquet. And then I'm going to declutter the Buttercup. Again, I don't see myself reaching for them a ton, but I would like to at least keep one around to kind of compare the formula and all of that. And then moving on, I just have my Super Shock shadows. So these 3 came out in a collection. I believe this was with the orange collection. This shade in the middle is truly just one of my favorites. This is Flipper. I know they sold this as a trio. I think this used to be a single, then they were only selling it in a trio, and I don't know if it's available anymore, but I just think that it is such a cool shade. Her hand is full of glitter, so it might be like kind of hard to start seeing some swatches here, but I think that this one is so cool. It was definitely my standout from the collection, so I do want to keep this one for sure. I don't mind the Super Shocks. I know like a lot of people love them. I think they were the first product that Colourpop came out with, and people really lost their minds over them, but they're not total favorites of mine. Again, kind of when it comes to like the pigments and such, I like to keep ones that I feel like are a little bit more unique, and I think Flipper is just so cool. Okay, so then these 2 here, we have Monkey Business and then also Bubble Bee. So I think that both of these are fine, but I just don't see myself reaching into them very often, so I'm gonna put those 2 in my declutter pile. This one might have come out in the orange collection too. Now maybe it was a quad that they came out with. This is in Let Me Pass. So this one is more of like a coppery, almost like orange coppery shade, I would say. But again, I'm gonna pass this one on. I just don't reach for these enough to justify keeping so many. Okay, these came out in the coconut collection. Again, it's probably getting a little bit hard to see, but these are the swatches from the coconut collection. I remember trying these and not being super blown away, especially by this first one. It was really hard to make it show up. The middle one I do think is pretty, like obviously this deeper bronze, I think that's really cool, but I think that the middle one, which is a little quirky, I believe it is, I don't know, that one to me for some reason still kind of calls out to me, so I think I'm gonna keep this one out of this trio and then declutter the other two. And then we just have the 4 left here that came in the butterfly collection of Mighty Morphin, Like a Butterfly, a Flying Circus, and then this one here is a ringlet. Again, I did swatch them to try to help me make a decision here. Man, as someone who doesn't love super shocks, I feel like it is really hard to keep a lot of these around. I understand why people love them, but again, just like with my single shadows, I just reach for my palettes more. I don't feel like any of these shades are really speaking to me. Mighty Morphin is cool, but I just don't see myself going into it very often. So I'm actually going to go ahead and pass on all 4 of these shadows because I think that someone can still get a lot of use out of them. I just don't see it being me. So I'm going to pass on these 4. After that, we are done. So let me pull everything out and we will see how I did. These are the 2 piles, and I mean, I want to say shockingly because a lot of times I keep more than I declutter, but I had a feeling it was going to be different for this one. This is my keep pile, the smaller pile actually. I'm keeping 21 different products, and then over here is the declutter pile, and I am decluttering 30 different products. I'm really happy with this. I always kind of look over both collections just to make sure that I'm happy, and I am. I feel like this is so much more reasonable for me and for my personal makeup preferences and what I continue to reach for. This just makes so much more sense than this pile or this, you know, combined piles together. It was getting out of hand. So I feel so much better about this. I'm so happy with this declutter. I feel very successful. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Again, we just have a few declutters left before the series is finished. If you guys did enjoy this one though, I hope that you'll give it a thumbs up. I hope that you also consider subscribing before you go, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.